Jackson Staff Spotlight, and we welcome to the show from the Engineering Department, Parking Manager and Engineering Assistant, Lee Rose. Hey, Lee.
Hey, thanks, Brett.
Good to see you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And welcome to the city of Jackson. I'd say fairly new there.
It's been a year. Yep, a whole year.
Most of our community knows Lee for his many years at the Jackson County Sheriff's Department.
30 years.
30 years.
Yes.
Wow, you could have retired, but you're still a young guy.
I retired from there in 2019, so
Okay. And then,
my wife thought I needed a job. So, she found this when she was still at the city, and she thought it would be a good fit. So, here we are.
well, good. I think it's a good fit too. Lee retired as a sergeant with the Sheriff's Department, and his wife retired from the City Police Department. So you've had a family in law enforcement, and there's more, isn't there?
Yep. My number two, Patrick, he is actually a Blackman Township officer. He left the city and went to Blackman. And then I have one that's looking to go to the state police when he graduates from college, and the other one's looking to go to the federal government.
Awesome. Well, you and your wife provided great role models to your kids.
Thanks.
Now you're still an enforcer with the city. What's a parking manager do?
So I oversee the downtown parking. I have a couple of enforcement officers that work the streets. I oversee the background stuff, the tickets. I pretty much magistrate the parking tickets for the city of Jackson. If someone disputes them or they want to discuss them or argue them, they come to me and we go over them. We're pretty good with the first ticket. We try to do a teaching opportunity, so we let people know that we are open to helping them learn the system downtown before we start charging them a lot of money.
Like a warning.
Yes, pretty much.
So
But
years ago,
our warnings are pretty much a ticket, and then
yeah. So you get a ticket, and then hey, it's your first time. Maybe there's some education that people need.
for sure.
And really, it is. It's new the way we do it now.
It's been within the last year and a half or so. It was just implemented before I came in, and I've kind of built on it from there.
Years ago, we had parking meters many years
Correct.
ago. Then we have free parking, but there's no such thing as free parking.
No, there's not. So our meters have changed. Our meters are now our enforcement officers. They're the ones that time you and keep, make sure that you're moving on, or we give you a fine and that's your meter for the day, I guess.
And they used to go around with yellow chalk and chalk tires to tell if someone's moving.
Correct. But that became illegal a few years back. That's called, an invasion of people's privacy or their civil rights. So we can't chalk tires anymore. They still call it chalking, but what we do is we actually use a license plate reader that takes a picture of your plate and times it in our computer system, and then we come back around and we do it throughout the day. And if they're in the same spot and within the same zone or block, then if they're there more than 2 hours, they're subject for a ticket.
Well, there's a technique people in downtown use called rolling.
Yes, there is.
Is that something that you are able to discern from your system?
No. Well, it is to a point. So downtown, it was brought up by the DDA years ago that they wanted, or a year ago or 2 years ago, that they wanted to be enforced by the block. So if you're in the 100 block of Michigan Avenue between Jackson and Mechanic, you have 2 hours to park in that block for the day. And if you want to move outside of that block, you have to go into the 200 block or into the 100 block of East Michigan, out of the West Michigan block. So you have to get out of the block or go into a free lot, or not a free lot, but a 2-hour lot that we have.
Yeah, there is free parking.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it is free parking.
It is free, and that's paid for by the assessments that the downtown businesses pay. That's what keeps it free. That's what keeps us not having to use meters.
Now, you can actually buy a permit to park in a lot all day, right?
You can. We have several lots. We have different colors or different prices. The further out you get, the less it is. But we do offer permits in the downtown area and around the downtown area, where you can just pull in and park for the day. They range from $50 to $65. I'm sorry. And then if you go into the parking structures, they're $30 a day. They're a little farther out, and they're pretty full, but they are less expensive.
And after, 3 o'clock, you can park in the decks?
So it's after 5 o'clock.
After 5?
After 5 o'clock.
Okay.
After 5 o'clock, downtown pretty much is free parking everywhere. So, no one's hampered in the evenings. They can come down, they can go to their favorite restaurant, or wherever they want to go. And it's pretty much free for that, or over the weekends too.
A lot of downtown people say there's not a parking problem, there's a walking problem.
That's a definite.
Because it's there.
There is free parking,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's not all you do. You're also an engineering assistant, and you take care of right-of-way permitting. What's that?
So right-of-way permitting is anything you want to do between the backside of the sidewalk and the street. That's the right-of-way. If you want to put up a sign, or you want to replace a sidewalk or a drive approach, we have to permit that. We have to inspect it. We'll get a permit, get it inspected. We do a lot of permitting for consumers, for your utilities. When they do overhead lines or whatever, anytime they're putting a pole in or moving a pole or boring underground within that right-of-way, then they're required to do permits.
And our streetlights are in that.
They are, yep. And I'm responsible for some of the street lighting, installing new street lights, getting the old ones out of there that we no longer need. We're moving a lot of our lights from where we pay consumers for them, a monthly fee, to a meter where we pay less, because when they're on our meter, we get a better rate.
We pay consumers for the streetlights?
Yes, we do.
Really? They should do it for free, don't you
You'd
think?
think.
I think that consumers, headquarters city, we should be the city of lights. And they should light up the whole town, and people come here and say, oh, this is where consumers is, obviously.
We should bring you on board to negotiate that.
Okay, all right. And then people that have like a yard sale or anything, they stick one of those signs in that space between the sidewalk. They can't do that, can they?
No, and that's more of a zoning issue. So like between the street and the sidewalk, there's no signage allowed for election signs or street signs. A lot of times the enforcement officers that are going around will pull those out. Not the park enforcement, but the zoning enforcement officers.
Okay. How about traffic lights? Do you have anything to do with traffic lights?
We do. I actually kind of oversee when the calls come in, when there's a light out, or when they're installing new lights, if they need power, or some of the back of the side of stuff that you don't see a lot. That's what I'm
It
doing.
seems like traffic lights never burn out.
No, they always burn out.
They always burn out.
We just keep them fixed because it's a safety issue. For
Yeah.
them.
Well, it just seems they're much more reliable than, say, the lamps in my house.
Well, everything's moving to LED, so they seem to last a little longer.
All right, so for parking, if people have any questions, what about city downtown employees? Is there a place where downtown employees can park?
We do offer for downtown employees. There is a lot that's free for them. It's over on the corner of Cortland and MLK. That's behind where the town bar and Crazy Cowboy is, in that area back in the corner. I think there's 36 or 40 spots there that are free to downtown employees to park. We encourage them to do that.
Yeah,
And
the enforcement reader, it's a camera that looks at the license plate, right?
we have a license plate reader. It's attached to the vehicle. There's actually two of them that do both sides of the street at the same time. So as they drive down the street, it automatically reads it. So it's done quite quickly. It's improved quite a bit from when they used to be able to do 1 to 2 blocks a day. They can do the entire city now.
Wow. All right, technology.
It's great.
Awesome. Well, great to have you here. Great to have you on the City of Jackson team.
I appreciate that.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
The City of Jackson staff spotlight today with parking manager and engineering assistant Lee Rose.